This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We've seen fewer scenes like this in St. Louis. Homicides and violent crime are down in 2023. Good evening, I'm Holden Kerwicki. St. Louis police are putting the finishing touches on their end of the year crime stats, and some signs of a safer city are starting to emerge. 5 on your side's Mark Maxwell is live downtown with new reaction to this trend. Mark.
On the most important public safety metric there is, 2023 enters the record books as the safest city and the safest year St. Louis has seen in a decade, and the second sharpest decline in the overall death toll from gunfire homicides we've seen since 1995, nearly 30 years there. Experts tell us there is no one explanation. The homicide rate is falling nationwide after all, and St. Louis hit a higher peak back in 2020 than most other cities, so perhaps it stands to reason that it's falling off that peak faster now. Still, the 158 reported homicides in the city of St. Louis in 2023 represents a dramatic reduction. Those numbers not yet considered official or final until the police publish their final report. But they're encouraging community leaders like this one. Khalil Munir, we met him at the Willie Davis Foundation back in June at the halfway point of 2023 when the death toll still hadn't started showing much sign of slowing down. Now that the whole year is over and there are fewer gun deaths, he's expressing some surprise and perhaps some relief that his work is paying off.
When you sit back and look at it on a broad scale, it's mind-blowing because this work can get overwhelming. And so you have to push and you have to push and you have to push, regardless to if you see direct results right away or if they come on the long term. But it's about continuous work. So seeing that now is refreshing.
This marks the third straight year St. Louis has registered a decline in overall murders, but a long way to go to match a remarkable decade spanning from 1993 to 2003, when the city saw total murders plummet from a peak of 207 in 1993 down to just 74 in 2003. We had more than twice as many murders last year in a much smaller city now. Still a long way to go. We do expect to hear more important bits of context and information from public safety officials later in the week. Live downtown, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Police are looking for the person that shot at the building that houses the Camp Jackson Fire Protection District near Cahokia Heights. The shot broke a bay window on the garage door overnight. Firefighters say it's likely a result of a holiday celebration. A huge moment for seniors returning home after a massive pipe burst in Jennings. They've lived in a hotel for the last year. 5 on your side's Annie Krall joins us live after speaking with the mayor and residents about having this community back together. Annie.
Well, exactly. This holiday weekend was a huge milestone for seniors residing here at the Fairview Village Senior Living Apartments in Jennings. Now they finally can move back in as of today after that massive pipe burst, releasing an excessive amount of water and flooding the entire south side of the building. In fact, leading to some necessary evacuations. People had to move in immediately to a local hotel where they have been living for a year. This Hilton Garden Inn housed about 30 folks from the senior living community. Mold in the building walls forced residents to either move into a hotel or with family, with keys handed out on Friday. The word I kept hearing over and over today was frustration, as many seniors were displaced longer than expected. However, the city of Jennings provided a $1,000 stipend or grant to their residents and waived building and permit fees for the owners. The mayor remembering December 25th of 2022 as a stressful night with alarms blaring and waking up many after Christmas dinner.
The moment was most definitely high intense for some of the residents. They're seniors, their mobility and access is limited, so that was an issue for them at that time to be evacuated in such an emergency fashion.
Now, Jennings Mayor Gary Johnson says that all of these renovations cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. At 6 o'clock, we'll hear from people who have just moved back in and some of their complaints asking why it took so long. Reporting live in Jennings, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
We have good news for workers across Missouri and Illinois. As of today, minimum wage workers will make more. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay has the details behind the bump in pay.
This is a great way to kick off the new year. Thousands of workers across the bi-state will be positively impacted by these wage hikes, which take effect starting today. In Missouri, the minimum wage is increasing from $12 to $12.30. In Illinois, the hourly rate jumps from $13 an hour to $14 an hour. Both states are way above the federal minimum wage, which remains at $7.25 in the new year. Illinois and Missouri are among 22 states where wages are increasing in 2024. And right now, Illinois has the highest minimum wage in the Midwest. Missouri resident Haley Wagner believes this is pivotal for families as inflation continues to increase.
I hope that everybody's being able to provide for their families. That's most important. I just got to a salary type position, so I know how it is. My daughter does cheer, so trying to provide that on an hourly wage was tough.
According to Forbes, inflation rates for 2024 is expected to be at 2.4%. Both Missouri and Illinois have not only kept up with the inflation we've seen over the past several years, but they've exceeded it as well. In St. Louis, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
With the new year comes 320 new state laws in Illinois. 3 involve driving. Starting today, video calls are banned while driving. That means no more Zoom meetings on your way to work. Another bill signed into law over the summer states that IDOT must develop an app to help drivers stay informed about accidents, construction zones, lane closures, and weather conditions. And police can no longer pull you over solely because you have something hanging from the rearview mirror of your windshield. That means air fresheners, parking placards, and even those fuzzy dice are fair to hang. And if you live in Illinois, today is also the deadline to register any assault weapons with the state police. It's part of the Protect Illinois Communities Act. You'll have to submit the serial numbers to your weapons, high-capacity magazines, and other devices. The law also bans the sale of several types of semi-automatic weapons. The law has faced a number of lawsuits since the governor signed it last January. And you can no longer use e-cigarettes or vapes in indoor public places in Illinois. You also can't vape within 15 feet of the entrance to a public building. This is an extension of the Smoke-Free Illinois Act, which banned indoor smoking in 2008. It was a chilly and gray New Year's Day here in St. Louis. Here's a live look from St. Louis County. As you can see, the sun is already set out there. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is with us for the Weather First forecast. And Scott, I know there's no warm-ups underway, but possibility of some snow?
Yeah, as we get into the weekend, we might have a little rain or snow, but between now and then, it's mainly dry. It doesn't look necessarily thrilling outside. We've had those clouds hanging around all day long. That's the scene out in St. Charles. We were hoping we'd see a little more clearing off to the west. We know the back edge of the clouds is there. It's taking a while to get in here. Radar pretty much on the quiet side here. No rain or snow anywhere close to St. Louis, but it would be snow because it's cold enough. But these clouds, as you see, still across the area at this hour. 32 in Alton, as well as Troy and Baldwin. It's Wildwood at 32, Lake St. Louis, St. Charles at 31. You're going to drop back into the upper 20s pretty quickly this evening. Skies do become partly cloudy as we continue through the evening hours. Winds are fairly light, but those clouds, at least for the next hour, hour and a half, will be hanging around St. Louis. We'll see in a few minutes. We'll talk about a weather system that impacts us as we head into the weekend and why we don't think it's going to be a huge impact for us.
All right, thank you, Scott. Still ahead, a New Year disaster in Japan. A tsunami alert has been issued following a series of major earthquakes. We have the latest. Plus, a possible sign that Israel is changing course in its war with Hamas, why troops are being pulled from Gaza.